Okay, so run a new layer. Again, I suggest you... I don't have masking turned on here, and I'm just going to rotate the model to a front on. Making yourself grey. Yeah, it can be like that, can't it? I'm just going to... I've just scaled the model up so it's just within the viewport here. Again, I'm going to scale the texture up, and I do that by holding the Control and Shift key and the left mouse button. I'm going to scale the texture up till it just fits the column in the background. That's so I know the scaling and keep it consistent throughout the rest of the painting. You feel like you're trying to create an impossible solid from MC Escher. You'll get there. Just takes time.
If I run away, know that you're better off.
All your reference materials make the angles of this particular piece look different. Yeah, particularly like if they change the lighting and stuff, that can make a big difference into how a piece of geometry will look too. I bake that down by hitting the Alt key. And if you are working in Mari, guys, always make sure you hit the Alt key before you rotate or move your model, as I've been saying, otherwise you're going to lose the texture. But yeah, no, depending on the lighting that they used when they took the photographs too, it can always make different pieces of geometry look pretty different. Yes, thank you for the suggestion of that website, because it's great. I actually bought 2 of their albums. They're great. I like their music a lot. Unfortunately, I can't actually hear it while I'm working here with you guys because I haven't got my headphones on, and if I put my headphones on then I can't hear my mic level, so you guys can get to enjoy it and I can't. But I listen to it when I'm not streaming. So yeah, thanks again for that heads up on that website and that place, because they have some great albums. I bought the Red Card album and what was the other one? It was number 91, whatever that is. They're both really good. I may grab another couple of their albums. But I like the fact too that I don't have to mute my streams now with the audio. Like prior to this, I always removed the music because I was just fed up with Twitch or YouTube muting my videos, but now that I can have access in my account to the actual license information, if they do that, then I can just send that off to them, and it's a lot easier. So I won't be muting my audio anymore when I upload my videos to YouTube or my uploads to Twitch, which is good. I always like having music in the background. I think it, particularly with 3D work, it's sort of I don't know, add something to it instead of dead quiet when I'm not talking, which I tend to do a lot anyway. So I've been told. I don't know, I've been forgetting to move this texture while I've been painting too, so move your texture around a bit. Break it down. Yeah, that's right. You can only say the same thing about the same process so many times. I do try and sometimes I think it's important for me to repeat some stuff I've already talked about, just in case there are any new people that have joined the channel or are watching me that maybe haven't watched me in the past. I want them to have the benefit of what I've told the other guys. So I know it can sound a bit repetitive sometimes for you guys that have been with me since the beginning, but it's important for new people to hear it too. But as a streamer, you get used to saying the same thing over and over again, because you always get people asking you the same thing. And that's why I've never understood with some streamers I've watched, they get a bit narky when people say, what game are you playing? It's like, well, it's in the title, can't you read? That's their attitude, and I can understand why they get frustrated, but these are people that have just popped into your channel and they don't know what you're playing necessarily. Maybe they're watching on something where they can't see the title, you know. So I don't think it's right to get narky at people. That's just me, though. No, I don't want that streak there because it's too similar to this piece here, so I'm going to remove that. Yeah, just some streamers sometimes they'll get a bit narky because they have to repeat the same thing again and again and again. But hey, just chill out, guys. No reason to get narky. Yeah, well, I watch Twitch too on my I have a HTC PC, like an Intel NUC, that I watch it on my main television, and through Kédo, which is a plugin, which is a media player for a Windows machine. And that doesn't, in that plugin, you can't see the title. It doesn't tell you. You can't even see the chat, actually. So, yeah, depending on what you're watching Twitch on, sometimes you just don't know because you can't, it's not showing for you. So, some of these streamers do good to remember that, I think. And not get so shitty so quickly. And bloody Nightbot's being a bit of spam again. Yeah. So anyway, that's me ranting and raving a bit. You're listening to Pixel Networks, okay. And aren't you? I don't know if I'm familiar with that. Do any of you guys watch live streaming on YouTube? Just curious as to how many people are actually using that service. Their live streaming service. I've always sort of come to believe that Twitch was the go-to place for live streaming. I'm just painting over the corners here so that the texture blends together a bit better. Okay, we're going to bake that down. Looks like we just have a bit of a texture error here, which I'm going to fix up. And also just in here. You watch the VOD, most of my favourite channels are on YouTube. You watch the VOD of most of the favourite channels on YouTube, live stream, okay. Yeah, I was just curious. I actually haven't myself looked at any live streaming on YouTube. I have my YouTube channel, but I just use that to upload my streams from Twitch. I just noticed that they're constantly sort of bombarding me YouTube with messages about live streaming, so I was just curious. And again, we're going to fix up this texturing here. Move that down just a bit. Zombodia. Can I ask what made you choose Mari over alternatives like 3D Coat? To be completely honest, I've never used 3D Coat. That's not for any reason that I don't like the program. I've just not used it. I have used Algorithmic Substance Painter, and that's very good. Yeah, I have no problems with that at all. I chose Mari though because it allows me to paint with really large texture sizes. At the moment, I think Substance Painter was, when I used it about a year ago, limited to 4K textures. Oh, the main reason you use YouTube is because you can select the quality of the stream. Sniper Echo, yeah. Yeah, well that helps, it does, I have to agree. I wish Twitch would be a bit more lenient in that regard as well. But that's the reason Zombodia. I use Mari because I can paint with really large texture size, and it's used a lot in cinema, doing modelling for cinema work, whereas Algorithmic Substance Painter is probably better used in game development. Because a lot of times, even though generally when I release my models for sale, I don't release them at bigger than 4K textures. Generally that's big enough, but there are times when I've used 8K or 16K textures, and Mari is the only program that I'm aware of that can do that. Maybe 3D Coat can, but like I said, I haven't actually looked at it, at that program. I've heard good things though. I know people do like it. Zombodia? That is how you pronounce it, isn't it? I always have a problem with you guys' usernames. Zomboids. Zomboids, that's what it is, isn't it? Ask the other guys. They know how bad I am with their usernames. All of it. It's not just you, it's everyone. It's just me. I'm terrible when it comes to trying to pronounce you guys' usernames. Zomboids. There we go. I'm not going to paint the top or the bottom of this column though, because it's not being seen when it's in max. Yes, zomboids, like robot zombies. Right. Yep, I get it. It's just me. Not reading closely enough, or my mouth not working properly. My apologies for mispronouncing your name. Like I say to all of you guys, it's just me. I'm sorry if I mispronounce anyone's name. It's probably going to happen again. I'm sure it will happen again. Just ask Ananji yesterday. He always calls you Jeff, Sniper Echo. Do you want me to call you Jeff, or do you want me to call you Sniper Echo, Sniper Echo? Probably, yeah. I'm happy to call you guys whatever you like, but I don't know if I'd remember Jeff from Sniper Echo. Maybe. I haven't finished painting this up, and this is the base color. So we know that layer 2 is the base texture color, which we'll come back to when we start creating 5 different versions for the columns around the outside. But what I want to do at this stage is take this base color back into max so I can check it, check the look of it against the column at the top. So again, I'm going to just save our project here, and I'm going to right click on our color channel and export flattened, and export everything flattened. I export flattened to make it easier. You can export it in layers if you prefer, but there's no need. I don't need that to do that at the moment anyway. Large column base here. We're going to call it large column base and underscore painted. And to remember to always add the extension at the end in Mari. There is no drop down for you to select target, tip or whatever. You must type it in. No, I don't want to do that. I must have chosen the wrong file, I think. I did. I want large column, that's the one. Large column painted, okay. Um, 3D code can do 16K, can it? In the Pro version. Cool. That's pretty decent value too, actually. $379 for a painting program. Yeah, that's pretty good value. What's the interface like though? Is it difficult to use? Let's jump back into Max quickly. Pull out a bit. Because $379 is pretty decent for anything to do with 3D work. As most of you guys know, generally it's pretty expensive to do anything in 3D. When you're painting surfaces at 90-degree angles, how do you make sure the textures on the faces match? In Mari here you're talking about. If you're talking about Mari and painting on an angle like that, just through painting over that corner you will match up the texture on either side. But if you really want to make sure, you go into your brush editor on whatever 3D paint program you're using and feather out your brush. That way when you're painting over that corner edge, it'll feather into the texture on either side. That'll generally get around it that way. Sniper Echo. It's super sweet and pretty stupid that I can use it. Super sweet. I'm pretty stupid and I can use it. Does retopology as well. Cool. Retopology is always a good feature to have. I know ZBrush does retopology pretty good as well. Works with layers similar to Photoshop. Yeah, well, Mari works with layers as well. I think Substance Painter does too. Cool. I'm glad I answered that for you, Sniper Echo. If you have any other questions, just let me know. I'm happy to help. Yeah, most of them will work in layers. It's good that it works in layers because that's always helpful. It seems to be decent value. With retopology, I actually have a program that I came across that is completely free if you guys want to try it out. And it's called Instant Meshes. And it was developed by a university. And that does retopology really well. It's all automated. You click a button and it'll do it for you. And I use that when I do photogrammetry, like these statues for instance. If I do photogrammetry and the mesh is really dense and I want to retopologize it and make it a little bit lighter, then I'll bring the dense mesh into instant meshes and it will automatically create a retopology for me on top of that mesh, and I can dial in exactly how much detail I want in it or not. Excellent program. It's one you really should check out if you need to do a lot of retopology, that is, and if you just want to try something different from the 3D software you might be using to do it in. I haven't actually had a chance to play a lot with it because it's only installed it probably about 6 months ago, but from what I have used of it, it's really good and free. So, just something for you guys to keep in mind if you do want to do any retopology work. Let me just pull it up. I don't think it'll crash out any of my other software. This is the software here. So you open a mesh and then it will retopologize it for you automatically. You can dial in exactly what quads you want and what size of a mesh you want on the export, all that sort of thing. It's very good, and I do recommend it if you want to try something a little bit different. It's freely available under the BSD style license. And this is the website here that you go to. igi.ethz.ch, and it's under the projects directory called Instant Meshes. So I definitely recommend if you do a lot of retopology work, you check it out. It's really good. That opened up 2 versions for me. All right. And it's really lightweight too, so you don't need a super heavy, super powerful PC to run it or use it. Oh, cool. So you found it there. Yeah. Good program. I recommend it. For retopology, that's really all it does. But it does it very well. Let's pull in that texture. We were painting up the base texture here in Mari. So we're doing large column painter, that one there. And again, this is just the base texture. I'm going to do some dirt marks on it in just a minute, and then we're going to create 5 versions of it so that we can start repeating it around the outside. I just wanted to bring it in to check the texture against the one at the top. Alright, that should work for us. It would make sense that the blocks that make up the top smaller column will be smaller than the ones on the base here. You wouldn't generally have blocks that small on a column that large. That's the thing that I really wanted to look at. I also wanted to make sure the texture was the same, and it is, so that's fine. And also look at how that blends in with the rest of the model. And I think that'll work alright. We're just going to dirty it up now. Add some dirt marks on it like we have on the one at the top. Just before I do that, guys, though, the one thing that's really getting in my crawl lately is trying to get height in Substance Designer, or tessellation, where it gives height and alters the mesh. I've played around with Substance Designer, not for about a year. I'm not really that familiar with the new versions of it, because it has been about a year since I've used it. So you're trying to get height in Substance Designer or tessellation, where it gives height and alters the mesh. Yeah, no, I'm not that super familiar with Substance Designer. Like I said, I played around with it. I have a license for it, for both it and Substance Painter, but I haven't actually used them for over a year now, because I use Mari for my 3D painting now, and Substance Designer I found was good if I was doing work for Unreal, because they're physically based shaders. Creating physically based shaders in Substance Designer is always good. But even a lot of my Unreal modelling now, I don't tend to use physically based substances, so it tends to be more bitmap based. I know that there's a big push to go to physically based shaders now, but sorry. Maybe at some stage I'll look at installing Substance Designer again and checking it out, but at this stage I don't do a lot of, like I said, physically based shading, so I haven't really looked at it for over a year. But again, it's something, like I said, I always, any new piece of 3D software that comes out, I always like to at least read up on and see what it's about, even if I don't decide to buy it and use it, just because that's what interests me. So it always has. I've always been, reading up on the latest and greatest thing that's come out to see how it could improve a workflow. So I'm sure I'll look at Substance Designer again, because I know that they've released a lot of versions of it, because they keep sending me emails telling me that there's a new version. So okay, I'm back. Is there a problem with the Be Right Back music file, Galen? Skipping. Yeah, I had somebody last week say that as well, and I listened back to the VOD, and it was in fact skipping as well for me. Actually, in Premiere, when I was editing the video, I noticed it. Is the music playing okay now? Is there any skipping going on with the audio now, with the music playing? Or was it just happening on the Be Right Back music? Because yeah, it was. Is the music playing all right for you guys now? Is there any skipping going on? Let me know if the music is skipping now while it's playing in the background. It's just to be right back, cool. Now, yeah, like I said, it happened to me last week. I noticed it on one of the videos I was editing, and it doesn't always happen. And I have a feeling that it is Mari that's doing it. I think Mari in the background, its temp directory is doing something weird. When it hits its temp directory, it's causing my music to skip. That's the only thing I can put it down to, because the E temp directory that I'm using, my E drive is also my music file directory, so I think it's that. It could be foobar, because I've just started using foobar. But that's what's playing the music now in the background. I'll have to look at that, because that's the second time it's happened, and it doesn't always happen, so that's what's got me stumped. Only occasionally it will skip like that. So I'll have to check that out and see what's causing it, but I have a feeling it's Mari and its temp directory. When it hits the temp file, it is causing the, because the music is on the same hard drive, it's causing skipping. So what I may end up doing is just moving my temp directory from Mari to another drive. I think I'll try that first, and hopefully that will stop the skipping. Either that'll move my music to another drive, but I'd rather not do that. But thanks for letting me know, because yeah, it is something I noticed last week, but then the stream the other day was fine, so it was hard for me to pin down exactly what's going on. Also, must let me know, guys, too, if my music is too loud for you, because I did adjust it slightly. Alright, let's jump back into Mari and texture up this column a bit. Is it strange that the music that's playing in the background now, even though Mari may be hitting the temp drive, doesn't seem to be affected? So it just seems to be that be right back screen for some reason. Alright, let's throw down a new layer. And let's grab a dirt texture. Let's go with maybe this one. No, this one probably won't. Now for these dirt textures, you can zoom in on the model a bit. Again, I'm working with the corner of the model here. Just going to angle it forward slightly so I can see where that corner is a bit more easily. I'm going to scale that up. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work front onto the model again, and I'm also going to turn on masking at this stage. And all that's going to do is prevent me from accidentally overpainting the sides here. I'm going to angle it up, and I've just noticed I forgot to underpaint the underside there. So before we do that, we're going to jump back into layer 2, and I'm going to reload that texture we're using for the base texture map. Which is this one here. And I'm going to do that underside, so I'm just going to use the grey part of the texture for that. And remember, if you're working with areas that are a bit fiddly for you to get into, just let me back that down with the Alt key. Again, for anybody new to Mari, just jump into the UV viewport layout, and you can paint it in there instead, if that's easier for you to get to. For some fiddly areas, you may need to jump into UV view. We should be okay with these though. Now, I'm not going to paint that line, I'm going to paint that out in just a minute. But yeah, no, I wish I could work out what is causing that skipping on Be Right Back, and only doing it occasionally. You know, the only thing I can put it down to is Mari. Take that down. Again, I'm going to make sure it's angled on quite a steep angle so that the masking is taking full effect here. Let's swing it around to the other side here. And like I've been saying, it's always important to make sure your texture follows the direction of the model. Again, I'm going to bake it down and paint those lines out as well. We'll do the other sides. Yeah, and providing you get the texture in the right position, it should be easy to blend them together. Bake that down. I'm going to jump to the bottom as well. Again, rotate our texture to match the model underneath. Once we've got this base color down, then we won't have to do it again. We can just turn off the layers that we put on top to create some variation. We can just turn those off and work again with the base layer. So we only have to do this bit once. This is why I really like 3D painting programs, so it's really easy to get into all these little fiddly areas that you could be UV mapping and texturing for ages in Photoshop. Bake that down. Just for this side, yeah. And considering I'm here and it's there, I might as well do the tops as well. Like I said, we're not going to see these at all because the top column is sitting on top of it, but Hey, we might as well do it to make it look right. That's a hole that runs down the middle of the model, in case you're wondering. Because I created the model by using 4 different sides. I didn't create like a block and extrude and pull in, which is another way to do it. And looks like I might just need to blend in these edges as well. I'll do that in just a sec. Again, I'm angling the model to make sure my masking is taking full effect. Where was that edge? Maybe. Let's zoom out just a little bit. And I'm just pressing the Alt key so I can see the model underneath. I'm turning the texture on and I'll try and line things up a bit. Now I've just got to move my texture into the right spot. A little bit down here, just needs to be corrected. No, the colour is completely wrong. I don't like that colour either. That's a better colour. Alright, now this was the edge here actually I wanted to fix up. break that down. I'm going to move my texture down because I don't want that white part showing in through here. I want it to be a bit darker. Right. Now we can jump back up to our second layer and we can throw down a dirt map. So we'll jump back into our dirt texture here. I'm going to zoom in on my model.